Maibara-san, how much do you know about Sonozaki-san? Other than what I've heard just now, nothing. Till then, I had known nothing about either Mion or Shion other than the fact they were interesting. I really did only just learn that she was the daughter of some prodigious family. The Sonozakis are a Yakuza group with the entire region under their thumb. Plus, her father is a high-rank executive in the Yakuza Association. Did you know that? What? An executive? Have you ever seen where Shion-san lives? It's the very picture of a gang boss's house, protected by high walls, barbed wire fence, and security cameras. If you have a chance, you should go visit her. Sounds like a very interesting place to go visit. She mentioned Mion being a successor, but to a Yakuza group. No. Not at all. A boring old Yakuza group isn't the only thing Mion Sonozaki-san will inherit. She's inheriting the Sonozaki family itself. I'll leave it to you to mull over what exactly that means. Ooishi-san had spoken lightly about all this from start to finish, but what he was saying wasn't light in the least. It was abrupt and unbelievable. If Mion-san wanted to, she could kill someone in the middle of the street and still cover it up. Not only would witnesses not show up, but she would put pressure on the police too. But Mion would never kill someone. She wouldn't. I'm just speaking hypothetically. Yay. Hypothetical situations, eh? Your name, it was Ooishi-san, right? Yes, that's right. Well, we took for that long and you didn't know his name. Then Ooishi-san. Whatever family Mion comes from, it doesn't change the fact that she's the best friend I could ever have, and I'm proud of that. I don't appreciate people speaking ill of her. Let my quiet anger show through in my gaze as I stared at him. Of course, I could never seem to tell what he's thinking, so I didn't know if it had any effect. Now let me be frank. If Mion-san was suspected of a handful of incidents, what would you think? Suspected? Incidents? You can't just say terrible stuff like that on a whim. Then it would be a misunderstanding, of course. Mion may say some dangerous things, but she's not the kind of person who would do something so awful. Maibara-san, please keep your voice down. Still in the library, you know. Yeah, there we go, we're in the library. Ooishi-san hushed me, but in a state of heightened excitement as I was, I couldn't be calm so easily. Please calm down. As I said before, the Sonozaki family holds a lot of power in this region, for better or worse, so if anything happens they would immediately be suspect. I appreciate it if you understood that. Well, I know what Ooishi-san is trying to say. Combine it with what Shion told me before, the Sonozaki family is huge and controls everything from Hinamizawa to Okinomiya. Mion, meanwhile, is its successor, who apparently holds a strong influence over the entire family. Still, that's all? That's the only reason they're suspecting her? I'm just doing my job here. Not to doubt Mion-san or anything, but it's to clear up suspicions surrounding her. Please think of it like that. You could talk a dog out of a meat truck. He was the definition of a shrewd, unfair adult. At this point I began to think that it was no coincidence I met him. Ooishi-san, do you need something from me? Yes I do. Keiichi Maibara-san. He answered in an absent tone of voice. Mion's being suspected of something and you came to hear from a friend of hers, me. Is that it? No, that isn't it. I didn't come to talk to a friend of Mion Sonozaki, I came to talk to Keiichi Maibara-san. It would probably have bothered you had I visited your house. To me? What did the police want with me? Having realised this fate coincidental meeting had me as its target, my mood immediately turned foul. You don't need to be so tense. Calm down and just answer a few questions. Am I being questioned? Let's call it a chat with a guy you happen to run into. Ooishi-san freely suggested that I relax. That said, behind his eyes was a light, which I could only see sometimes. It was sharp as a hawk. I tried in vain to run away. He might actually take me in and bring me to an interrogation room or something. That was undoubtedly unpleasant thought. You had a roaring good time at the Watanagashi festival last night, didn't you? Don't beat around the bush, please. I can't do small talk right now. Last night during the festival. Did you see Jiro Tomitake-san and Mio Takano-san? Gulp. I could plainly feel myself give a start. Where did I put those pictures? Oh, here they are. He opened a small notebook and removed 2 photographs. They didn't have to look. Well, who knows? I might have seen them around, but I don't remember. I was asked the same question for the second time today. I gave the same answer for the second time too. Your memories are blurry? You couldn't have possibly been drinking or anything. Here too, I got the same answer as I had from Mion. I realised he wasn't taking my vague reply well. Why is he asking me? The same thing Mion did. The dark feelings I had nearly forgotten due to my conversation with Shion came rushing back in a hurry. We snuck into the sacred ritual storehouse, a punishable act. It was on a tiny impulse. While it may not count for much now, I do feel sorry about it. I'll ask you again. Did you see Jiro Tomitake-san and Mio Takano-san at the festival last night? His tone was soft, but there was a dreadfulness in his voice, clearly different from the first time he asked. I'm scared. That was exactly how I felt. Even if you repeat the question, my answer won't change. I don't really remember. There wasn't any better answer I could give him. You could, just tell him you saw them at the stream, and that was the last time you saw them. That could be a good answer. I didn't have the balls to say I didn't see them, nor the courage to admit I did. I see. I just thought that maybe I'd get a different answer if I asked a second time. I'm too scared. Look at Ooishi-san in the eyes. I'll change the question. Come, my Mara-san. Relax. Ooishi-san grabbed my shoulders and squeezed them as if trying to give me a massage. It almost just hurt though. Still, why? Would he ask the same things as Mion? If he's asking the same things, then the next question must be... On the same night of the festival, did you see Shion Sonozaki-san? Just a lot of clattering happening around right now. I wondered what that sound was, and when I looked down I saw that it was the unmelted ice in the cup I was gripping. It was the unmelted ice in the cup I was gripping in my hands. My hands were trembling, rocking the ice back and forth. Realising that, I hastily put the remaining ice in my mouth and crunched down on it. Sorry. I may have seen her, but, well, she looks just like Mion. I might have just mistaken the two. Well, that can't be. Suddenly, Ooishi-san grabbed both my shoulders and hunched down to give me a level stare. This must be what it's like to be a deer in the headlights. I want to look away, but I can't. This is the first time I experienced such a piercing gaze. a piercing stare. Mion-san and Shion-san wear completely different clothing. You wouldn't mistaken the two so easily, I would think. Maibara-san. His voice was harsh. Harsh. The same as when Mion said it. I could feel my heartbeat quickening. When I realized he could feel it through the hands on my shoulders, I got even more scared. Why are Mion and Ooishi-san both asking about last night? I was sneaking into that storehouse so hard. I shouldn't have let Takano-san talk me into it. Tomitake-san casually said to check it out too. So, even Shion, if she hadn't encouraged me, I understood. I was the one at most fault here. And I was the one most at fault here. I shouldn't have let my curiosity get the better of me. I shouldn't have gone into the forbidden storehouse. Ooishi-san, I think that's our cue to get out of here. A young man wearing a suit came into the lounge. From the way he held himself, I knew immediately that he was Ooishi-san's subordinate. Oh, so it is. Losing time already. I hadn't realized it until he said something. The jingle and the announcement telling Patreons the library had closed had started playing without me realizing it. I was so irritated, so overwhelmed that I couldn't even hear it. Well then, Maibara-kun, we're out of time, so allow me to take my leave. I'd like to talk with you more about this at your leisure, when we have more time. This isn't a joke. If I never saw him again, it would be too soon. Ooishi-san followed his subordinate and left the lounge behind him. However, he spun back around. Alright, Maibara-san. What is it? The two questions I asked you before. You don't remember well enough to answer either of them, correct? Right. Just so you know, you saw them all yesterday. You were walking along, the four of you have quite a pleasant time. Near the stone steps, I saw you with my own eyes. I caught my breath and my heart seemed like it was about to stop. What a detestable person. He knew and he was testing me. We'll meet again. Have a good year. You just mentioned that you saw them off to the cotton drifting bit. That's all you had to say. I sat there like a rock, unmoving, until I could no longer hear the clacking sounds of their footsteps. All you had to say was, saw them at the stone steps. All you had to say. On my way back home, the cries of the Higurashi accentuated the already lonely evening. I'm surprised we could hear the cries of the Higurashi in an evening city, like in an evening of town. More time had passed than I thought. The orange of the dusty sky was being chased down little by little by an indigo colour approaching from the east. Exhausted from the slow climb towards Hinamizawa, without even noticing, I had gotten off my bicycle and was pushing it uphill. I don't understand it. That was a random piano. I don't understand any of this. No one had told me to my face that I'd done something wrong. No, in fact, it might have been much easier on me that way. What happened yesterday really was just my curiosity. This piano's really freaking me out for some reason. It really was no more than a quiet prank. No more than having the courage to cross at a red light as long as you did it with other people. The storehouse for ritual implements, hallowed grounds only accessible to the family of the priest. For sure I'd seen terrifying things that I never imagined would be there. Think on it now, though. It didn't matter what was stored away inside. It didn't make the wrong I had committed any more right. what the four of us did, Shion seemed to know about it. For some reason, even the police were trying to learn what the four of us did. Did we do something so bad? Really? It doesn't matter how wrong it was. I did something wrong. It was nothing more than that, and yet couldn't accept it. I didn't apologize to Shion or Ooishi-san. All I did was shield myself with ambiguities. I did something wrong yesterday. I set foot into a forbidden storehouse for a little bit of mischief. I'll forget everything I saw in there. I won't ever do something like that again either. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. If I apologize like that, will they forgive me? No, I'd say it to their faces at the very least. The sudden cool evening air left no room for such sentiment. However, as it was mercilessly chilled my feet, urging me to head home as soon as possible. In the end, the evening air was correct. If I trudged along such an isolated road, regrets would pile on top of regrets, but nothing would change. Let's go home. I'll go home, to my room, put on my favourite music or something, and go to bed. That might sound plain and boring, but it's probably the strongest I felt all day. Now that I made a decision, there's no point in dawdling in a place like this. I sat back on my bike. I pushed hard on the pedals. I rapidly advanced forward. I steadily gained speed. The wind was cutting and mercilessly cold, but it actually felt good, as if it were softly punishing me.